The prophet Zechariah tells us that the soldiers who fight here will have a most unusual way of dying. First of all, the flesh will be consumed off of their bones, the eyes consumed out of their sockets, and the tongue consumed out of their mouth. But the strange thing is, he says that this will all occur before they can fall to the ground. There's nothing like that except nuclear war.
Come on, baby, don't die on me now. Oh.
right, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Shakar here with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakah Qudash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of the great millstone from which I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the house of David, doing his work with all righteousness, truth, and sincerity. And I want to say shalom to the whole full elect. Shalom. All right, I'm going to start right here in the book of Zechariah 14, verse 12. It says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem." It says, "Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth." See, what's going to bring that? That's going to be the destruction, okay, from the warheads. And I played a couple clips there from, Terminator 2, the movie The Day After. And then also I played a clip, from an individual looked like an Edomite, but he was going into it. He said, what's going to cause this? What's going to cause, their flesh to consume away? What's going to cause, their eyes to consume away in their holes? You see, in their tongue to consume away in their mouth. He said it's warheads, man. And this is all going to happen, okay, by nuclear war, you see? And this is going to happen while they still stand upon their feet. Again, going into what? Nuclear war, man. He did mention the soldiers because there is going to be a fighting, okay, in the so-called Middle East, in the Levant area, okay, where is known as what? The Valley of Yehoshaphat. Let me get that real quick, because he did say this was going to happen to the soldiers, but not only the soldiers, but even the people here in so-called America, Babylon the Great. But let me get to those soldiers first. Let me go to what is that? That's the book of Joel, chapter 3, and we'll go right to the point. And verse 11, listen, it says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai." It says, "Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yehoshaphat. See, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." See, that's the soldiers, okay, from all these nations, okay, getting gathered together for war. Okay, the Lord said, let the mighty ones come down, because the angels, okay, they're working on the minds, okay, of these leaders of these nations, to have that mindset of what? Of war. Okay, because the scripture says, with the Lord, okay, turns the minds of kings. Let me get that. And he's using the angels, the mighty ones. That's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, and verse 1. Listen, it says, "The king's heart, okay, the mind, is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will." So this is all according to the Lord's will. He's gathering these nations for war. Okay, he's going to put these soldiers, okay, in World War III to fight. Yeah, and they're going to receive, okay, those plagues. Okay, they're going to be destroyed over there, okay, during World War III. But then ultimately it tells you what in Revelation, the 12th chapter, 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, okay, that these nations are to get together, okay, they're going to fight against the Lord, man. Okay, but they're going to be ultimately defeated. They're going to be destroyed. So yeah, he was right, okay, about, hey, you're going to have soldiers, okay, that are going to have to take part, okay, that are going to have to take part, okay, in that consumption, okay, the consuming fire, okay, but the Lord, he's gathering, okay, those soldiers for war. Let me get a couple more on that. Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 8. Listen, it says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured, see, with the fire of my jealousy." So it's the Lord, okay, gathering these nations to fight, man. Yeah, so you're going to have, okay, some certain soldiers, okay, be consumed away, okay, by that fire. But ultimately, again, they're going to turn around and they're going to fight against the Lord. They're going to turn from fighting each other and they're going to fight against the Lord. Okay, let's get one more on that. Let me go to what's that? Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 4. Listen, it says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations. Listen, gather together. And who's gathering together? What's going to tell you? The Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai of hosts, okay, the Lord of armies, mustereth the host of the battle. So this is the Lord's doing, man. He's putting all these nations together, okay, for Armageddon or Armageddon, okay, for the war that's going to end all wars. You see, but ultimately, again, okay, the Lord's going to destroy, okay, the Lord's going to put an end, okay, to those nations, okay, down there, man, because again, they're going to turn to fight against the Lord. Let me go ahead and get that. I'll just get right to the point. That's Second Esdras, chapter 13. Now I'm gonna see if I can get right to the point. I'm gonna go right to verse 8. Okay, this is when Yahweh Shai, okay, is gonna come in that fathership. Okay, that fathership, okay, or that so-called UFO was so big, okay, that Ezra thought it was a mountain. Okay, but no, this is speaking about the fathership. Okay, that Yahweh Shai, who the world English calls Jesus the Christ, is coming in. But I'm gonna go right to the point. It says 2 Esdras 13 and 8. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. So they're gonna be afraid of the Lord. But yet the Lord's gonna put the spirit upon them, okay, to fight against them. Because the Lord, he wants to fight. Okay, he's coming to judge and make war. Okay, just like his father. His father in Exodus the 15th chapter says what? I am a man of war, man. So like father, like son. So Yahweh Shai, he's going to come in that mindset, okay, to bring war, okay, upon these nations. Listen, it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. See, that mouth would be what the opening of the chariot right there, where that laser fire is going to come from. See, this is what the Lord's going to do, man. He's going to bring a destruction, okay, to these nations. So yeah, again, going back to that first video, yeah, these soldiers, okay, they're going to have to take part, okay, in that consuming fire. Okay, but then you're going to have, okay, some of these soldiers that are going to, they're going to be meat, okay, for the fowls of the air. It says, and they were all mixed together, see, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, see, which was prepared to fight, and burned them up everyone, so that upon the sudden and innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Hey, so, when the Lord puts it on them, man, all it's going to be left is what? Is the dust, okay, and the smell of smoke. You see? So, yeah, you're going to have, okay, those soldiers, okay, they're going to take part, okay, in that consumption, the consuming fire, okay, from from the warheads, because there's going to be warheads, okay, being shot, down in that region as well. But, hey, they're going to try to fight the Lord, man. They're going to lose miserably. Okay, so, yes, of course, okay, you're going to have some of them soldiers, okay, that are going to be consumed, okay, with that destruction. Okay, but you're going to have those that are going to be left over, what? For the fowls of the earth. Okay, the Lord promised that. The Lord promised a feast. Okay, let me grab that. That's Revelation chapter 19, and I'm gonna try to go right to the point, verse 17, and it says, and I saw another angel, see, standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power. It says that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and of the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them. It says, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. You see, so some of them soldiers, they're going to be a feast, okay, for the fowls, man, for the birds. You see, but ultimately, when you go back, okay, to Zechariah, the 14th chapter, let's go back. Zechariah, I'm going to read that again, 14 and 12. Okay, this is speaking about the destruction that's coming right here to so-called America, man. Well, you know, there's going to be other places that are going to be allotted for destruction, but mainly, okay, that chief destruction, that main destruction is going to be right here in America, okay, the lake of fire. It says, and this shall be the plague, see, wherewith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Now, Jerusalem is the people before it's a place. So that's speaking about right here in so-called America, man. Okay, you've got all these nations, okay, especially the Edomites, the so-called white man, okay, and even 2/3 of our own people, okay, they fought against Jerusalem, okay, they fought against those of the hopeful elect, okay, those that have this true understanding and true knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. See, there's going to be a great destruction, okay, for for all the madness, okay, that these nations are coming up with. Okay, there's going to be a destruction, a great destruction for all the madness that 2/3 of our own people, okay, coming against coming against this truth. It says their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. See, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Again, what's going to bring that? Okay, that's going to be the destruction. Okay, those plagues, man. Again, which is going to be the warheads. Let me go back to Second Esdras, and I'm going to close out because I didn't want to make this very long. Just something quick going into those plagues, man. You know, just going into that destruction, okay, that the Lord's going to bring, man. That's going to cause, again, okay, the eyes to go back into the holes, okay, of an individual's head. Okay, the tongue to consume away in his mouth. And this is going to be, again, while they're standing upon their feet. Let me go to, actually, you know what? Let me get another precept real quick. Then I'll come back to Second Esdras and I'll finish here. Let me go to Jeremiah. Let me see. Jeremiah. Chapter 51 and verse 1. Listen, it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, see, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, see, a destroying wind. And we just read it, okay, who's risen up against his people? Okay, who's risen up against his truth? Okay, again, it's Esau, okay, the Edomites, okay, the so-called white man, and then even 2/3 of our own people, okay, right along with the rest of the nations. Okay, they've all come against the Lord, okay, and his hopeful elect. Okay, again, those that have, okay, the 100% truth, man. Okay, that's destroying wind is gonna be that destruction, man. There's another one. It's in was that Isaiah 14, where it calls it the besom of destruction. Let me get that real quick. I try to get right to the point. Verse 23, Isaiah 14 and 23, it says, I will also make it a possession for the bittern. Okay, what's the bittern? Okay, that's these unclean birds, man. Okay, when you go into it, it's speaking about buzzards. Okay, though, buzzards and vultures, and unclean animals, man, that like to eat dead things. You're saying you're gonna have the screech owl, and you're gonna have certain unclean birds, okay, certain unclean animals, okay, that are gonna dwell in so-called America. Okay, once that fire burns out, okay, that's what's going to happen. Once the fire burns out from the destruction, okay, the Lord said again, I will make it also a possession for the bittern. See, and pools of water, and I will sweep it, listen, with the besom of destruction, said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts. See, that besom of destruction, you go into that word besom, it's like a broom. So it's like a sweeping action, man. That's what's getting ready to come, man, from that destroying wind. Okay, that's the destruction that's coming to so-called America, okay, Babylon the Great, and wherever else the Lord has allotted, okay, destruction. Listen, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have proposed, so shall it stand. You see, so nothing's going to stop it, man. This is going to happen. Okay, and a lot of people, they don't understand that, especially when you go, again, we start off with that scripture in Zechariah, the 14th chapter, the 12th verse. Okay, they don't understand what that's speaking about. Okay, that's speaking about the destruction that the Lord's going to bring upon, okay, all these people that have fought against Jerusalem. And like we showed you, yeah, you're going to have, okay, some of that happen over there in the, the Valley of Yehoshaphat. Okay, but hey, there's going to be a World War III. Okay, but there's going to be a great war there. Okay, and ultimately, hey, they're going to fight against the Lord, man. They're going to lose miserably. Then you're going to have some of them soldiers. Okay, they're going to be a feast, man, for the fowls of the air, for the birds. Okay, we went into that, but hey, again, when you go into Zechariah, the 14th chapter, the 12th verse, that's chiefly speaking about right here in so-called America. Let me go to Second Esdras, and I'm going to go ahead and close out after that. Second Esdras, chapter 13. Chapter 16. And let me see. I'm going to start at the 13th verse. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp." Okay, meaning what? They're not going to miss. It says, "and shall not miss." See? It says, "when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." Now, so-called America at one point was known as the ends of the world. Okay, the fourth part of the world. It says, "Behold, the plagues," okay, we just talked about the plagues, "see, are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth." It says, "The fire is kindled and should not be put out." See, you're not going to have no, fire engines and, and all these water hoses, okay, trying to put out that fire. No, that fire is going to have to burn itself out, okay, and in order for what? Those unclean animals, okay, to dwell there. It says, "till it consume the foundation of the earth." See, and the earth is not going to be all consumed. See, and that doesn't mean that the earth is going to be totally destroyed. No, there's going to be certain parts of the earth, but ultimately, okay, so-called America, man, Babylon the Great. Okay, and we also know that the land of Israel, okay, that's going to be destroyed too. But unlike America, okay, Israel will be, okay, built back up. It says, "like an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth should not return again." You see, so once those missiles fly, nothing's going to stop it, man. It tells you what in Joel, the 2nd chapter, that even the defense system, okay, the defense missiles, okay, they're not going to be able to knock down, okay, those, they're not going to be able to knock down those warheads, man. Hey, the Lord's Spirit is going to be upon the missiles. He's going to be leading those missiles. Okay, so they're going to bring a great destruction. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? See, Esdras saw this great vision, okay, and he saw the destruction, man. He said, hey, who's going to deliver me in those days? Hey, because that's how much destruction, okay, the Lord's going to bring. Now, let me jump up to verse 7. Okay, it says, "May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer?" Okay, the answer is no. It says, "The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues. See, and who is he that can drive them away? And no one can." It says, "A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it?" Again, ain't nothing's going to stop it, man. It says, "He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid?" It says, "The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence." You see, and that's going to be the destruction, man. Okay, you're going to have destruction from the missiles and destruction from that laser fire, okay, from the so-called UFOs, okay, the chariots of Israel, you see? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Quadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of the great millstone from which I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the house of David, doing this work without righteousness, truth, and sincerity. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.